way of like overreacting to stuff. They're like, oh, Saddam Hussein's a problem. Let's go in there and kill 1 million people.
Yeah, America does that.
Yeah, we're like not the best people to handle stuff, and we're like still like we should handle it.
You know who else does that?
Who?
Israel. Blame everything on Israel.
I'm not blaming everything.
Yeah.
19 seconds? That's the record. 19 seconds in, and Slow Joe has already shown you the whole machine. Shane makes a point about America, that we overreact, that we go in and kill 1 million people over one bloke. And Joe's fine with that. Joe's loving it, nodding along like a dashboard bobblehead. Great point, Shane. America bad. Very brave. Then Shane says one word, Israel. And watch the little guy. Instantly, before the syllable has finished leaving Shane's mouth, blame everything on Israel. Nobody blamed everything on Israel, mate. Shane said 7 words, and one of them was a country. And the shutters came down so hard that Shane had to stop and clarify. I'm not blaming everything. A grown man apologizing for a noun. On the Free Speech Podcast. That's the whole video. You can go now if you like. Everything from here is the same 19 seconds happening over and over for 4 hours, with different props. Because welcome back to the Dunning-Kruger experience, where the most listened to man on earth will sit in that chair and read presidential propaganda off Jamie's screen. Word for word, call it crazy 9 separate times. Invent from scratch a working blueprint for bribing a president through a meme coin. And then conclude that somebody ought to have a word with him about it. Somebody, Joe, some guy, out there, somewhere, not you, obviously.
Well, I had a suit jacket and everything. I was prepared, but it was in the other room. But he goes, come on in the Oval Office. So he brought me in the Oval Office early.
You were not wearing a suit? I didn't see it.
I had a jacket, a suit jacket. I didn't have a tie. I was going to wear a tie, but I hate ties. I said, let me just dress like I dress at the UFC. It
White
looks
man's
fine.
chain
So I
around
wore
your
my
neck.
UFC outfit.
So you were like Zelensky in a tracksuit.
No, I had a nice
you're
button-up
Zelensky,
shirt, a
dude.
nice pair of pants, nice dress shoes.
Yeah.
He's like showing me all the new gold work. The Oval Office has like gold everywhere now. It's like all gold leaf everywhere. It's pretty impressive.
Who designed it?
Paintings.
Persians?
Him.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
loves
Well,
gold.
Definitely not the Persians.
Bin Laden loved gold.
He loves it. He like loves doing up the Oval Office.
Shane and I took a tour.
Yeah, I was
Me, you, and
Wait,
O'Connor.
what?
Yeah, we took
Of
a tour of
what?
the White House.
Biden
we did
years?
DC. No, it was
No,
Trump.
Trump years. He wasn't there, so we got in, but they're like, you can't go into the Oval Office. And we're like craning our head in. Saw the big Gulf of America poster.
Oh, this is back, yeah. He had literally just had a map next to his desk that says Gulf of America. You're like, damn.
It's a map of water.
God, especially because you're like walking through and you're like, damn, Lincoln's.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of
Look at all
history
these cool
here.
things, and then you
Okay.
see Gulf of America next to the desk, and you're like,
Hey, fuck. What is that?
So you're like Zelensky in a tracksuit. Shane Gillis, ladies and gentlemen, instantly. No wind up. And look at the setup Joe hands him. He was invited into the Oval Office early, before the others because he's special, and he's telling it in that soft, pleased voice he does when he's flattered and hiding it. And Joe's response to being compared to a wartime president, getting publicly humiliated on camera, he defends the outfit. No, I had a nice button-up shirt, nice pair of pants, nice dress shoes. Mate, the bit isn't about the shoes. Blind Freddy can see the bit isn't about the shoes. Shane just told you to your face that you were summoned to a room to be looked at, and you stood there reading out your garments like a bloke declaring his shopping at customs. It went straight past him. His brain was still glowing from the invitation. Then the gold. It's pretty impressive. That's the word he lands on. The seat of the American executive has been done up like a Dubai casino foyer, and the man who will interrogate a nutritionist for 90 minutes over one study walks into a gilded throne room and goes, pretty impressive. Shane. What is that, Persians? Joe. Him. He loves gold. Like it's a charming quirk. Like we're admiring a mate's kitchen Reno. Shane, flat, straight into the ribs. Definitely not the Persians. That's the ecosystem. 2 comedians landing surgical shots about a leader gilding the room he governs from. And the host is going, yeah, he does love gold though. He's the least perceptive person at his own table, every week. And then Shane's tour. He's craning his neck around a rope like a tourist, and he delivers the best line of the night. It's a map of water. Shane got 12 feet into that building and came out with that. Joe got walked in personally, early, as a guest of honor, and came out talking about the gold leaf.
I hate to get on Trump stuff, but have you seen the plaques?
No, I heard about it. So his plaques
Right.
under everybody's name.
Yeah, he's kind of trashing every other president.
And what is he? He
It'll
trashes
write, like-
them all.
I saw the Andrew Jackson and Clinton ones. The Clinton one is like, basically like he kind of got lucky with the economy because of the tech boom. Also, then at the end, he's like, and then his wife tried to run against Donald Trump and lost. Like,
That's a plaque. Does it really say he got lucky? Like, who's writing these things? He's not writing them.
Sleepy
If he wrote
Joe
them, that would be
Biden.
Sleepy Joe Biden.
By
It
far
says
the
that.
worst president in American history.
Oh my God, he is writing it. Look at this. Sleepy Joe Biden was by far the worst president in American history. This is so crazy. This is crazy. Nicknamed both Sleepy and Crooked by you. By who? Nicknamed. Like the whole public got together. I got a name for this guy. Was dominated by his radical left handlers. Look how radical left is in caps too. You shouldn't be allowed to do this. Right? It should be like historians say this guy was president from ba-ba-ba.
Oh, wait, what's it say at the end of that? Does it say Donald Trump saved America?
Despite all, President Trump would get reelected in a landslide and save America in all caps. That's a plaque in the White House.
He's not beating the dictator charges. This is like an African dictatorship.
Bro, this is crazy. Somebody needs to tell him, like, hey, this is not good. You can't do that.
There it is. Somebody needs to tell him. Joe, mate. 90 seconds ago, you were sat there telling us, with a little glow on, that he brought you into the Oval Office early. You have his phone number. It came out this year that you text the man. You got him to sign an actual executive order about psychedelics. With a pen. Because Joe Rogan asked, you are the somebody. You're the only somebody. It's the sole reason a single human being cares what you think about politics. Take away the phone number, and you're a very rich man reading headlines off a monitor on a delay. And you read the words Save America off a plaque in the White House, said, this is crazy 3 times like a stunned mullet, and handed the job to an imaginary stranger. Send the fucking text, Joe, and be clear about what happened there. Shane brought it up. Not Joe. And Shane opened with, I hate to get on Trump stuff. A grown man apologizing in advance for saying something true. That's twice in 3 minutes a guest has had to soften the ground on the Free Speech Podcast. Because Joe didn't know, had no idea. He's very proud of being off social media, and fine, good for him. But the result is that the 4th biggest podcaster alive is learning what's nailed to the walls of the White House from a comedian, then having Jamie put it on screen so he can sound it out like a big boy. And credit where it's due, because for 90 seconds he's actually good. Nicknamed both Sleepy and Crooked, by who? He clocks the all caps. He says, unprompted, you shouldn't be allowed to do this. He gets right to the edge. You're almost proud of him. Go on, son. 1 sentence. Subject, verb, object. And Shane gift wraps it. He's not beating the dictator charges. All Joe has to do is agree. And instead, somebody needs to tell him. Absolutely diabolical. He got all the way to the finish line, saw who was standing on the other side of it, and folded like a lawn chair.
Epstein complained. His
And
cellmate
failed?
tried to kill him. Yeah. We tried to strangle him to death.
Whoa.
And they found him unconscious
Must
and
use that
unresponsive.
Krav Maga to break out of it. Or Krav Maga, however you say it. Whatever they do.
Krav Maga.
Krav
Whatever
Maga.
they do.
Yeah.
That they're still not releasing it.
Here's what's crazy. No arrests. No one's like being brought in. Meanwhile, Comey is getting arrested for a photo of seashells that say 8647.
He's getting arrested for that?
What's
he's getting
86?
charged.
What's 8647?
86, get rid of. President 47.
But you could say kill. But 86 is, if you get fired, what happened to Mike? He got 86th.
Right.
It doesn't mean you got killed.
Well, they already
Social-
had it out for him.
I know,
They're just
but
looking for any
that's
excuse.
This is
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
problem
No,
with these guys
100%.
is it sets a crazy precedent.
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
them
We'll-
to
we'll
do
jump-
that.
we'll jump up
That's
some
the
charges.
precedent. That's the worst. Like, that's crazy. You
That's
can't
the
do that.
craziest one.
FBI
that's a
director.
result
It's like,
of the
oh, you went
precedent.
after me? Well, now we're going after you for
Yeah, it's-
nothing. It doesn't matter.
It's nuts. It's nuts. Like you're going after someone for something that's just silly.
It's crazy. Trump can take a shot, but not a joke.
It's just retaliation for going after Trump.
Well, it is, but it's like they're just looking for any reason. But it just doesn't seem. It seems like there should be other reasons. Like if the guy really was dirty, you should have something on him other than
Yeah.
this seashell picture.
Yeah, it's not. He's not.
He just hates him, and he's using
Yeah.
that.
I know, but it's that's such
Such
a
abuse
of
This,
power.
this was my
Of course.
thing when people weren't upset about ICE people in the street with masks on and no identification. I'm like, this sets a crazy precedent. You're
street.
setting a precedent for militarized people with 7 weeks training to be walking around with weapons of war and flak jackets with no ID and masks on. That's all I'm saying. Like, this is a slippery f***ing slope you're going down.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
Look at what's actually in that clip. Epstein's cellmate tries to strangle him to death. He's found unconscious and unresponsive. Nobody is arrested. And in the same breath, the former director of the FBI is being criminally charged over a photograph of seashells. Shells, on a beach. And the thing that bothers Joe, the words he chooses, is that it sets a crazy precedent. A precedent. For later, for someone else, down the track. And Shane's straight on it. That's the worst. 3 words. That's the worst. Shane's been making that same point for a year now, across multiple episodes, in almost identical language, without ever once making it a moment. The bad thing isn't a door that might swing open for someone else one day. The bad thing is happening. Now, today, the masked men with 7 weeks of training aren't a thought experiment for a future Democrat. They're on the street this morning. Joe describes them himself, better than most journalists would, and then files it under slippery slope. Mate, you're not on a slope. You're lying face down in the mud at the bottom of it, with tire marks up your back going, gee, imagine if someone slipped down here one day. And here's the mechanism, because this isn't stupidity. That's the lazy read, and it's wrong. Joe Rogan can no longer form a sentence that criticizes Donald Trump. Not directly. Not with a subject and a verb in the right order. Something in there has been rewired. So every criticism gets laundered. It goes in as, the president is charging a man over seashells while the Epstein cellmate walks. And it comes out as, this sets a bad precedent for Gavin Newsom. Never an attack on Trump. Always a warning about a Democrat who doesn't exist yet. Same move, every time. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it, and I'm sorry about that.
Because then other people could do that too. And then the White House stops being the White House, and it becomes whoever's in its house, where he could just go crazy and say everybody else is a crook.
I don't think anyone's going to do what he's doing. I don't think there's. I mean, look.
God,
look,
I hope
of
not,
course,
but it
of
opens
course.
up. The problem is it opens up the door for someone on the left to do their version of it.
Gavin Newsom, he's not going to put up a
Of course he
plaque.
would. Of course he would. He copies everything that Trump does. He even tries to talk like Trump on Twitter. You don't think that he would put up plaques that talk about how corrupt Trump was?
Yeah, but he doesn't have to put up a plaque. That'll just be everywhere.
I mean,
You know
but
what I
he
mean?
could put that under his photo, though. Like, that's never been a thing that people did before.
For sure.
Right? How wild was the UFC at the White
Yeah,
House?
how was
That
that?
was wild.
That was insane, right?
That was like
insane.
fun.
I'm so glad I talked you into doing that.
Yeah, me
You
too.
had to go.
You were
I was-
wrestling.
I'm like, this is
I
only going to
was
happen one time in
Day
human
of,
history.
I was like, I shouldn't fucking go.
You
to
were
this.
wrestling with it.
I said yes and canceled like 4 times, and then the last time I canceled was the day before, and then I saw they were doing fucking dirt bikes on the front lawn, and I was like, I gotta see this.
Yeah.
I should see this.
Yeah.
I was at the cellar, and I was like, I don't feel like fucking dealing with it. Also, war in Iran, or this is a crazy time to be like, I support this.
Lakers sell Josh Kushner for but that's his brother. That's
Tell
Jared
you.
Kushner's
Still.
brother. He's not.
Still.
He was at the White House.
Gave Trump a
Yeah, so was I.
championship
So
ring.
was Shane. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Hold
the
on,
problem.
Let's stop bringing up that.
We left that pretty early.
We were there
I got out of there,
together.
dude.
We
They asked me to
prayed.
go in the VIP room. I said, no way.
You didn't? I went in there.
Fuck no. I knew
was
those
hanging out.
photos were going to be taken.
What was in the
I'm not
champagne
fucking
room?
Me and Nate
taking pictures.
Bargatze were in there.
I know.
Chilling.
I know.
Look how that turned out.
It was
I
fine.
stood outside in the rain. I was like, I'm not getting my picture taken.
I took zero heat for that event.
But you took a
You're
photo
already
with
on.
Trump a couple years back.
It was a funny photo. Pre a lot of things.
That's true.
That's pre
Pre-world record.
No, not me personally. I mean,
Also,
pre him.
the Iran.
him.
I was
Iran.
back then when I was taking that picture. I was like, this guy's going to release the Epstein files. No more wars. I like
Right.
that.
Wasn't killing Americans.
Also, still didn't vote for him. Not a big deal.
Also, still didn't vote for him. Not a big deal. Thrown away. Muttered into his own chest. Buried at the arse end of a sentence like a bloke mentioning he needs to grab milk. That's why Shane Gillis is the only human alive who can sit in that chair and do this. He doesn't announce it. He doesn't do the little speech about integrity every other comedian in Austin would do if they had a tenth of his spine. He drops the most damaging sentence in the room at conversational volume and moves on before anyone can react. Because think about what he just did. He's sitting 18 inches from the man who endorsed Donald Trump for president, in the room where it was recorded, on the show that arguably swung it. And he says, I looked at exactly the same evidence, at exactly the same time, and I didn't vote for him. Not a big deal. It's the biggest deal in the room, Shane. And look at the wrestling he did. Said yes, canceled. 4 times. Canceled the day before. And his stated reason, out loud, unprompted, war in Iran, this is a crazy time to be like, I support this. A stand-up comedian did more ethical accounting about attending a fight card than the administration did about bombing a country. And what broke him? Dirt bikes on the front lawn? He caved for dirt bikes, and he tells you that. No retrofitted noble reason. That's a man narrating his own weakness in real time. Now compare Slow Joe. They asked me to go in the VIP room. I said no way. I knew those photos were going to be taken. He knew. He understood exactly what that room is for. It's a photo mill. It exists to manufacture endorsement. Joe clocked it instantly, professionally, without needing it explained. So let's kill the naive old man defense right here. He is not confused. He is not being taken advantage of. He understands the game at an expert level. He just plays it.
This government has done some shit that no government has ever done before. And one of them is the crypto stuff. The crypto stuff's nuts.
What?
Like, Trump has made billions in crypto.
Yeah,
like,
it's a bad look.
Government's so fucking crooked.
And then you got his sons, and his sons are involved in all these weird business deals where the business deals have to do with some things that Trump put, and then the sons are involved in these businesses. And, like, there's a lot of money flowing around that you could dig in and start arresting people. He realizes that, okay, I need a ton of money to protect myself.
Yeah, but now he's actually doing things that are going to get him in trouble.
Okay,
Back
so
then,
what's going to
those
get
were
him
all
in trouble?
crazy.
So here's the question. The thing about the crypto is it's shady as fuck, but it's legal. I don't know.
Really?
Yep. I don't know if it should be. I don't know what the deal is. I don't understand crypto, really. I've had a bunch of people try to get me into
I
crypto.
don't understand one thing.
Donald Trump reported more than
Stand with it.
$1.4 billion in crypto-related income from 2025, the first year of his second term, according to his federal financial disclosure. That's a lot of money for a
He did
year.
bump and dump on his own people.
He did.
It's so ridiculous.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know if he did. This is my
Definitely
question.
did, dude.
But here's
the
my
Trump
question.
coin's not making any.
I
What the
understand.
fuck?
But this is my question. Who's really investing in Trump coin? Let me say this because I don't know who's buying it. I'm just guessing. But let's just make up a fake scenario where I talk you into making a Gillis coin. You did something for me and I can't pay you because that's illegal for this thing. So what we're going to do is
Talk about it.
instead of you like hooking me up with deals and making sure the regulations get killed
like
and
you
all
gave
these
me a
different
new
things,
Air Force One.
instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put $1 billion into this fucking Trump coin, or into this Gillis coin, excuse me. And then we're going to have a bunch of other people throw a little bit of money in there, but the whole evaluation is going to be very high.
I think it's influencers
There's
doing
a lot.
that.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of gamblers, but there's also it's a sneaky way to pay somebody off. War is so crazy.
Crazy. Good thing we're not in one of those.
When is that going to end? When are we
It'll
going to
never end.
stop doing that?
Take some profit out of it, maybe.
Trump posted today that the United States controls the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, he tweets that every fucking 2 days.
There's
At
always
some
a
point, you
deal.
gotta be like, guys, what he's tweeting is just distracting you.
There's a deal. We have a deal.
Yeah, but we all know this. Isn't he selling his Truth Social tweets to people and then they can bet on it?
What?
I think, yeah.
You can bet on anything
He's
now.
selling access.
Yeah, selling access.
To what?
He's selling faster access to his tweets, and then you can bet on it
I don't know what his
on
tweets will
the
be.
markets because
Wait a minute.
it's literally insider trading.
It's Kashi. That you
Maybe
can
I'm
bet on
wrong, I
everything
don't
you
know.
can fix.
Yeah.
Wait a
You
minute.
fix your
Is
own
that
bets.
real?
We'll see.
Wait a minute. What is this? Trump sued over Truth Social advance access sale.
And I'm online in the Oval Office.
Who's
Just so
telling
thick.
him this is a good idea? I feel like I need
Nobody's
to be closer
telling him
to
shit.
that.
$1,000 contracts.
Yeah, it's $100,000 you can get his early
Yo,
tweets.
Hey.
you know how crazy that is? $100,000 to get early tweets.
Hey, bet 200 on
That's literally
Yeah, it must
crazy.
piss you off so much when he tweets like
Truth
the
Social's
guy
parent
from Twilight's
company.
a bitch.
I just want to be in the meeting where they go, I got an idea.
it. And everyone looks at each other and is like,
Let's
should
do
we
it.
tell them no?
They go, look, everyone hates us
100
anyway.
grand.
Fuck it.
I bet it wasn't even Trump. It was probably some weasel who works in the administration. It's like, charge them $100,000 a month, and you post things, and they can move the market.
Yikes.
What are
Just
we
another
doing?
form of the same shit.
Well, here's the thing: is it legal? Because it is available.
Obviously,
legal.
he operates in legal fucking.
Gray
Great
area.
land.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing about the Trump coin. It's not illegal. Like coins are
Well,
not
that's her,
illegal.
what's her name? Was like,
Yeah, but
my
it
husband's
is
investing
gay.
on that.
Right.
It's gay.
This is all gay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Enough.
Well,
Enough. I'm a fucking.
if you're already
fucking
wealthy
liberal bitch.
and you try making money,
I'm sick of it. But
is that a Tony Hinchcliffe?
no, that's just me being gay.
Oh, okay.
But it does sound
It just does sound like it.
unbelievable. He's selling it.
Unbelievable.
Right. Deep breath. Let's go through what Joe Rogan just said out loud. 1. The sitting president made $1.4 billion in crypto in a single year. Not alleged federal financial disclosure on Jamie's screen. 2. The president's sons run businesses that benefit from things the president put in. Joe's words, you could dig in and start arresting people. 3. Joe then invents, unprompted from scratch using his mate's name, a detailed worked example of how you bribe a sitting president through a meme coin. His conclusion, it's a sneaky way to pay somebody off. 4. He finds out the man is selling advanced access to his own market-moving posts for $100 grand. Someone in his own studio says it's literally insider trading. Jamie pulls up the lawsuit, and then Joe Rogan, having built that entire case with his own two hands, delivers the two conclusions that define him in 2026. First, I bet it wasn't even Trump. It was probably some weasel who works in the administration. Of course, it's never him. There's always a weasel. In Joe's head, Donald Trump is simultaneously the most formidable political force of the century and a confused pensioner with no idea what's on his own account. Both, at once. No friction. That's not analysis, mate. That's an alibi. You're doing his legal defense for free, and he didn't even have to ask. And the second one, the one that made me put the coffee down. I feel like I need to be closer. Closer. He has just described a machine for laundering bribes into the presidency, and his gut instinct is that the real problem is that he isn't near enough to it. Mate, you were in the room. 6 minutes ago you were telling us about it. He walked you in early. What did you say while you were in there? Did you raise the plaques? Did you mention the coin? Or did you say pretty impressive and ask who did the gold? We know the answer. He told us at 0:19. And then he reverses all the way out to, is it legal? Because it is available. Is it legal? That's the bar now. Not, is this right? Not, should the president be doing this? Just, is it technically actionable so I can stop thinking about it? Same man who spent a decade in that chair, telling you the system is rigged. They're all bought. There isn't an honest one in Washington. And the second it's his bloke holding the bag, it all collapses into, look, it's a gray area, and honestly I don't really understand crypto. Joe Rogan questions everything, except the one man he's got on speed dial. Good boy, Joe, good boy.
They did it June 14th, I believe, because it was Trump's birthday.
That's correct.
80. At some point, you're like, you can't relate to most of the population.
You can't relate to any human on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, it gets these levels. Like Shane can't relate to most people right now,
I can
right?
relate to a lot of people.
A lot of
He
people,
remembers at
but
least.
less people, and it's slowly going to get weirder.
Hey, guys, you
Trust
ever
me.
change a
Comes
tire in your Maybach?
Trust me.
Shut up about my Maybach.
Wait, you got a Maybach?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's pretty embarrassing. Well, it's clearly for a car that has a driver.
Oh.
So I'm just driving a very nice backseat.
Yeah, but it's
Right.
still, it's even driving. It's so
like
smooth.
Tim
It's
with his
cool,
car.
but I bought
Did you
it
fuck
and then I
up?
left Austin for like a month, and then I came back and I was like,
What am I doing?
why would I ever have this? This is very embarrassing.
Bro, I
seats
went
like
with them.
hold you like it's
We
okay,
went to the
buddy.
dealership, and I told the dealer to shut up so I could sell it. I'm like, I know everything about this car. Let me
Joe
sell it to
told me,
my
I was
friend.
like, I'm gonna get a Honda Accord. I don't need this. And he was like, you want this? You gotta get this.
I took him to the
dealer's like-
Mercedes dealership. I explained to him about the S-Class.
Oh, nice.
This class rules.
You gotta get one
Oh,
of these.
bro.
Joe's thesis here is that Shane is becoming unrelatable. Too rich, too famous, drifting from the common man. It's slowly going to get weirder. And then the evidence arrives, and the evidence is the most relatable sequence in the entire 4 hours. Shane owns a Maybach and is visibly, physically embarrassed about it. Shut up about my Maybach. He points out it's a car designed to be sat in the back of. So what he's actually doing is driving a very nice back seat around Austin like a chauffeur for a passenger who doesn't exist. Then the killer. He bought it, left town for a month, came back, looked at it in his own driveway. What am I doing? Why would I ever have this? That's a functioning conscience in a very rich man, which in that city is rarer than a Ferrari. Shane Gillis got rich, and the emotion it produced was embarrassment. Now, who drove him to the dealership? I took him to the Mercedes dealership. I explained to him about the S-Class. S-Class rules? Joe Rogan personally drove Shane to the dealership, lectured him on the S-Class, told the salesman to shut up so he could close it himself, and is now, 40 seconds later, using that exact car as proof Shane is losing touch with the common man. You put him in the car, Joe. You're standing there with the receipt in your hand, keys still warm, going G. Fame's really changed him. And this is what Rogan and Segura and Hinchcliffe and Schultz have never worked out. Nobody's angry that they're rich. Nobody cares about the money. The difference is that Shane is embarrassed by it, and they've turned it into a personality. Shane says, shut up about my Maybach. Joe says, I got real estate, bro. I'm rich. Segura holds up the Yachtmaster and calls you a speck of shit on a washcloth for not having one. So let's run Joe's test on Joe. Shane's unrelatable because he owns a nice car and hates himself for it. Joe's unrelatable because he found out the president is running a bribe funnel and said, I feel like I need to be closer. Have a think about which one of those blokes has actually lost touch.